Today's the day we start a new adventure, our first game in charge of the Slovenian national team. I know that's not what this episode was expected to be, but that's what we've got. All will be explained very soon. Roll the intro. Hello and welcome to a Slovenian adventure. This is the side bit of Making Maribor where we've been given the job of Slovenian national manager. I am Coach Leftfoot and I very much welcome you to this save. If you're not too sure what's happened because you haven't seen the rest of the series, you're just tuning in for the Slovenian national job bit. It's in the year 2032 and pretty much everyone who you would have known has retired. So we've got a whole team full of regens. Slovenia are in a bit of a slump nationally. My Maribor team are doing very, very well and we've won the Europa League twice and we're cracking on the Champions League. If I just very quickly show you what has happened is we've got through to Champions League quarter-final stage by beating Olympiacos on penalties, and I recorded it and the microphone didn't work. So this is now going to be the episode that comes out on Monday, and on Tuesday hopefully it will be the Juventus double header in the Champions League quarter-final if I get enough time to record it. But today we are focusing on the Slovenian national team. This is the squad we have at our disposal. These are the players I've picked. So we'll go through them one by one and quickly introduce them and show you what they're doing. So goalkeepers, we have Milos La is one of our potential goalkeepers. Not bad. He started out at my Maribor team and then we've sold him after all these years. He hardly played for us really that much. Played a few appearances for the B team. We sold him on to Numancia where he's still there and he's had one season in La Liga. Conceded, well, didn't actually do too bad. Been very consistent for them. He is one of the goalkeepers we have at our disposal. Against him is Christian Horvat, 31-year-old Slovenian, plays for CM Poli in Romania. And he started his career at Kirkonova Mesto, moved to Olimpia Ljubljana, who are the second biggest team in Slovenia, and then has moved to Croatia and now in Romania. Had a very good season so far, not doing too badly for them. Been very mixed over the years, but again, he's one of the goalkeepers we have at our disposal in this squad. Next is Dennis Pella. He's actually at my NK Maribor side. I've just bought him. I quite like the look of this guy. He's probably going to start today's game, just because he's got some stats that I prefer that edge him above the others. He has not been in the game very long at all. He started at NK Celje in Slovenia, had a loan at Smart Note, and then we've bought him for 3.5 million. We overpaid, I know that, but I'm not too fussed. Moving on to defenders, David Stankar, one of the big names in this Slovenian team, as you can see from his current and potential ability. Right back, started at NK Maribor. We sold him to Barcelona for 5 million, I think it was. Yeah, and then we had him on loan back for 3 years. But he has been Barcelona's starting right back for, 5-6 years now. Very good. We need him to be influential in our team. Left back, Josi Lekic, again another player that started at NK Maribor. There's a running theme in this squad about that. And we sold him 2.5 million to Man City. Never made an appearance for them really and got sold on to the MLS, to Galaxy, and now finds himself back in England, albeit in the Championship at the moment with Fulham. But he's got some good stats and we need him to be an integral part of this team as well. Moving on down the team, Nico Reis is someone at Brescia Calcio in Italy. He started at NK Celje and has had a bit of a career moving around. Juventus actually bought him at one point and then sold him on after he played one game for them. So he had quite a bit of potential. Not a bad backup for have at the left back if we need him. Can play at centre back as well. We have Jaka Pavlin, who was a mainstay of my NK Maribor team, but has recently been sold on to Club Bruges for 5 million. He's not too bad. He's got some good stats here and there. A bit short for a centre-back and doesn't really have a good jumping reach, but can play quite a lot of different positions and is good. Yeah, solid. Very useful to have in the team. Journey Toplovec is, I don't know where was he one of ours? No, he wasn't. Kersako, he started out. They sold him for 1.5 million to Tottenham. He finds himself playing at Brentford. He's part of their Premier League mainstay in Brentford. He is very, very good for us. He is the international manager. No, that's me. He is the international captain of the Slovenian national squad. played 45 times. He's 28, worth a lot of money, really good. He's one of my centre-backs. David Mladenovic started at NK Maribor. Didn't really get any game time for us. He's played, about 16 games for Maribor. We sold him on for 425k, which is very cheap, and he's recently moved to Hajduk Split in Croatia and is doing pretty well for them at the moment. He is going to be starting centre-back next to Topolavec, and yeah, I think that's a very good partnership for us. Boubacar Diallo plays at Olympia Ljubljana, born in Senegal, hasn't had a game for any of them yet. We actually had him, we bought him for 120k from Generation Foot. Didn't ever play him in the senior squad, sold him on to Versailles for 100k, who then sold him on for 400k to our big rivals Olympia Ljubljana, but he finds himself in the senior Slovenian team. Then we have Viteja Valencic. We move on to the centre midfielders. This guy is pretty good, plays out in Turkey, 33 years old, there for a bit of experience in the squad. Good passing stats, good playmaking attributes. He's done alright. He's moved around a little bit, started Ljubljana, off to Fiorentina, had a bit of time in Italy. Brentford picked him up again, Sporting Gijón, then he moved out to Istanbul and has been very consistent for them, so he's a good player to have in the squad. Rok Zelko is someone who came from Domzale. I bought him for Maribor, didn't really play him. Then he moved on we sold him to Atletico Madrid for 1.3 million. He moved to Southampton and Derby. Then we bought him back for 2.5 million, and then sold him off again to Fiorentina for 3 million, where he hasn't been performing brilliantly well. But I do know he can play this holding midfielder role that I like to play. He can play it very well, so keep an eye out for him. Maja Djukic is someone I've actually been trying to buy for NK Maribor, and I did buy him and then sold him, and then I've been trying to buy him back, but it hasn't been working. He decided to move to Verona on a free rather than me. When we bought him, we paid 2.2 million from our big rivals Ljubljana. He played a couple of seasons, not very many games, and then got sold to Bordeaux, where he didn't do very well, but he's enjoying his life much better in Verona, where he's dropped down a division, but his average rating's gone up, and he's getting a few assists as well. So keep an eye on him. He'll probably play an integral part at some point during his tenure as our Slovenia manager. Luis Carlos will be famous, not famous, well known to a lot of people who follow the Maribor save. We've bought him for 15.75 million. He was a transfer record at the time when we bought him. He was absolutely superb for us, but was just dwindling out of his career. He is mainly in this team because A, I know what he can do, and B, he's very experienced and he's got some very good technical and mental stats. Physicals have dropped off. This will probably be the only squad he makes of mine. I just want to see if he can still do it for the national team. Dragan Dragan, we'll call him, just to at least keep it sort of Slovenian. Pretty decent. He's sort of the opposite to Luis Carlos. He's got very good physical stats. Technicals aren't brilliant, but he's the guy that if we need someone to run around and chase people down, this is what I'm going to get this guy to do. He's played for Gorica for quite a few years and then got sold to Osijek in Croatia and has been doing generally okay. Doesn't seem to be very consistent over a whole season, but he's got some good stats and we'll see how he gets on. Gregor Oblak, again, is probably one of the better players in the Slovenian national team at the moment. Centre midfielder, playing at Frosinone Calcio in Italy. Started at Celje, moved into Croatia, and then has just been sold, or moved on a free transfer, to Frosinone Calcio, where he's been playing very, very well in Serie B. So hopefully he can bring some of that form into the national team. Then we have our star player, Matijan Kranjic, owned at Liverpool. 26 million, getting 105 grand a week. Has some audacious stats for a left winger. Is very, very good. Only really played in Slovenia once, and that was on loan with Celje. But he got a big money move this year from West Ham to Liverpool for 17.5 million. If I used wingers with Maribor, I would have tried to buy him. But unfortunately, I don't use wingers. However, we're using a formation which only uses a left winger purely so we could play him. He's very, very good. Next up, Mateo Lovric. Again, people will recognise this. He's contracted to me. He's been at NK Maribor for the whole of his career. 3 loan spells out to NK Celje, but since then he's featured quite a few times for us. Incredibly consistent. Very, very good. Again, hoping he can just bring his club form onto the international stage when he's picked, and he likes to score a banger from range, so just remember that. Next up, Dino Blazic, another one from Maribor. We had him, sold him to Man City for $7.5 million. He didn't play once for them. He came back on loan to us 4 times. Then went on loan to PSV. Then went on loan to Brentford. And we've just bought him back for $7 million. As you can see, his return to us has been very, very good. Again, not starting because we haven't really got a formation that favours that attacking midfield role. But his stats are very good and he will play a very fundamental part whilst I'm Slovenian manager. Then we go on to the strikers. Milan Arsic from Olimpia Ljubljana. Very good stats. Very good season so far. 6.87, 6 goals and 27. Oh, it's not as good as I thought, actually. But generally is a very good player. Someone we need to keep an eye on. And maybe look to buy if he impresses us in the international setup. Andrej Jankar is going to be a strike partner for club and country. Again, this guy's contracted to Ljubljana. He's pretty good as well. Pretty consistent. Been at Ljubljana all his career apart from 2 loan spells at Ruda Valenje. But yeah, he looks good. He looks like he's got some decent stats. Going to be playing as a target man for us. Little and large up front. Then we have Tadej Blazic on the bench. Striker. Looks very good. He plays for another Slovenian club called NK Domžale. Has done his whole career apart from 1 loan spell away. Pretty consistent. Doesn't seem to score that many goals, but does give us a good option off the bench. And everyone loves a player that attempts overhead kicks. Superb. And then last but not least, Christian Horvat. Same name and spelling as the goalkeeper we've got under the same name. Yeah, looks pretty decent. Lacking a little bit technically and mentally, but he's only 20. He's had 6 caps for the international team already for the senior team. He scored 10 goals in 23 games for Celje this season in the Slovenian league. Hopefully he can bring some of that form if he comes off the bench today. But that is the whole squad. And this is how we're lining up. A 4-1-2-1-2 formation. The plan is basically get Stankar bombing on up this wing, or give the ball to Kranjic out here. Get the centre midfielders to try and dictate the play. Put some crosses in for Jankar to head in, or Arsic at the back post to put in along the floor. And see how we do, really. And go from there. We've got a few formations I can change to that I use with Maribor. But generally, yeah, I really hope this works. I really hope this works. But let's crack on to the game. We're playing Ireland in the Europa Champions qualifying spot or something. I'm not really too sure. See you at kickoff. And the game gets underway. The team talk wasn't brilliant, but, you know, we've just got to hope the guys can go out there and do the job. As Ireland have lined up in a 4-2-3-1 formation, or a 4-5-1, the computer's calling it. But we need a win. It was predicted that it's going to go to penalties. That's what the odds are, that it will be a draw and it will go all the way to penalties. As Whitehead gets in behind, crosses it, Stankar with a good clearance. Southwood picks it up and Pella makes the catch. It's the Euro Championship qualifying playoff semi-final is what it is. As Lekic tries to bring the ball down but gives it away. Whitehead comes forward. Inside to McLeish. McLeish to Brennan. Good tackle from Marinovic. Doyle infield. Brennan's there and it's 1-0 to Ireland, who do have the advantage of playing at home, but not the start we wanted. After 6 minutes, Slovenia find themselves 1-0 down. So Brennan here got it in. Tackled well by Marinovic, but McLeish picked up Doyle with a lovely first time pass. Brennan running through, and Pella didn't really make too much of a decent effort, did he? That was pretty crap. But so, yeah, we need to get back into this game now. So we'll be looking at what changes we can do, because we are not getting into the play. We're dominating the possession, not doing anything with it. So we'll have to look, maybe see this through to half-time, I think, and then we'll get into half-time and see what we can do to change things up, because this really isn't working at all. But we have a highlight just before half-time as Oblak picks it up. He's tackled by Doyle. It's hoof forward. Marinovic wins the header. Collins gets there. Back to Stankar at right back. Stankar into Oblak. Oblak is tackled and it's cleared. Well, is anyone going to go after it? Marinovic eventually starts to sprint after it. What can we do? Building it from the back. Topolevek. All the way back to Pella. Pella all the way up looking for Arsic, but it's intercepted. Djukic picks it up. Kranjic into Jankar. Jankar looks to run. Lacey has given away a foul and it's a straight red for Lacey. And Ireland are down to 10 men. So can we take advantage of this in the second half? What I'm going to do is literally fall back to a formation that, again, if you've watched the rest of the series, you will know that I love this formation. Bang. There we go. So it's going to be Janka up front. We will still keep him as a target man. We're playing inside forwards. We're going to try and just dominate this game. Not going to make any subs at the moment. No one's playing really badly. Oblak isn't having the best of games in the middle. We could bring on Blažič or Valencic, but we're not going to do anything like that at the moment. Crack on into the second half. Can we take advantage as Ireland only have 10 men? We've just got to keep going and hope that we can do it. As time ticks down, but we have a highlight. Kranjic is fouled. Southwood could be off here as well. Could Ireland be down to 9 men? They are down to 9 men. They're playing a 4-2-1-1 formation. We've got to take advantage of this. Stanko with the ball in, it's poor, but he gets it back for a second go. Again, it's poor. And we just can't seem to take control of this tie. But I am going to use this as a launch pad to chuck people forward. Arsic isn't having the best of games. Who can I put out there? We'll do this. We'll do Lovric for Arsic, and those two can swap over. And we're also going to do Oblak for Blažič. So we'll bring on Blažič. He's going to be a central midfielder on attack. He loves to score long-range bangers as well. Come on, boys. Let's go. Come on. We can do this. We just need to create the opportunities. McLeish comes forward. Tackle well by Djukic. Lovric comes forward. The sub. All the way over to Kranjic. He's got an overlap. He uses Stankar. Crossed it in. Djukic is there. Oh, it's a great save from the goalkeeper. And that's the sort of chances that we need to create. Come on, I don't want to lose my first game in charge of the national team. Stankar has picked up a knock. We're into the last 10 minutes. I think it's going to have to be a change of striker. Have we got... Do one of these strikers prefer to be a complete forward? Poacher. I don't mind playing a poacher. That's all right. Horvat advanced or poacher as well. 2 caps, 2 goals. Let's go for Blažič up front for Janka. Poacher, just sit right at the edge. I just need to make sure that we're not still retaining possession. We're not good. Let's up the tempo. We can do this. 10 minutes to find a goal against 9 men. Oh, I don't want to start with a loss and be out of this straight away. Doyle with a free kick. Short to Glover. Can we nick the ball and counter? Doyle. Doyle to Templeton. Ireland trying to keep the ball, but he's running into trouble. Maloney. Djukic is intercepted. Here comes Blažič. Blažič runs, he's tackled, but Lovric picks it up. Djukic. Djukic to Lovric. Lovric in, Blažič shows Kranjic is there. We get the goal. It's 1-1. I think we could argue that we deserve that goal. Great stuff from the national team. It was a good patient play. Lovric played his part. Crossed it in. Kranjic was there. Smashed it against the post, but Kranjic wasn't going to miss as Blažič hit the post. And he runs off celebrating. Our superstar gets the goal. Our key player in this national team. And it's 1-1. And they've still only got 9 men. Look how defensive they're playing. That is absolutely ridiculous. But I guess you have to with 9 men. You'd have to do something like that. As it goes to extra time. And I'm just going to say I'm very pleased to keep it going. I think we've got enough in us to win this game. As Lovric picks the ball up into Lekic. Out to Djukic. Can we get a goal straight from this kickoff? Stankar with loads of space, but we won't see how that ends. It's tense. It's very tense as it go into extra time. And it looks like the end of the first half of extra time is going to finish 1-1. And Ireland are offering nothing. They are definitely playing for penalties right now. Oh, I don't want to chuck too many men forward. I think what we will do is we will just swap that to a balance thing, I think, at the moment. Just so we try and make it a little bit wider for our players. We've already got wide players out there and the overlap, but it could be penalties. Doyle, short to Glover. Glover, tackled well by Blažič. Come on, let's launch. Run at them. Blažič brings it forward. He's tackled well by Doyle. Back to Templeton for Ireland. They've got nothing. They've got no outball. Djukic to Blažič. Stankar's on the overlap if they can find him. Blažič to Djukic. Good ball out to Stankar. Kranjic back to Stankar. Stankar is absolutely knackered. He's dead on his feet. And Maloney plays it forward to Glover, who is totally isolated. He's held it up very, very well. And that's all he could do is a terrible shot from range. And yeah, we're battering them. And look at this fitness. My players are absolutely shattered. But they've put in one hell of a shift today. They really have. But against 9 men, we should be winning. We really should be winning this game. And it's gone to penalties. The prediction was right. As you can see, I've already listed out. I've done the penalty takers. Here we go. He takes it. Pings it into the bottom corner. A good first penalty from the Slovenians. Dino Blazic, the boy from Maribor, sticks us into the bottom right corner. Doyle steps up for Ireland. He shoots. Oh, he beats Pella. It's a good penalty into the bottom left. Zelko, the man I've sold. Can he score? Oh, great penalty. Placed into the top left corner again. And we've just got to keep this up. We need Pella to make a save for us in goal. Burrows, the captain of Ireland. Will he score? Oh, he does. He places it very well in. The Irish fans go crazy behind the goal. Kranjic, our star man. Left-footed. Oh, he's missed it. Down the middle, the goalkeeper made a good save. Good save from the Irish goalkeeper. Brennan shoots, scores it. Pella can't get a hand to it. And if we lose this, I'm going to feel robbed. Blazic hit the post in the game. Steps up, places it nicely into the bottom corner. Very nicely done there. And Maloney steps up. Oh, he saved it. Pella's saved it. Maloney misses down the middle. Pella makes a great save. And Lekic, the left back, steps up, shoots, scores into the roof of the net. A great penalty. And now it's on Pella. If he can save McLeish's penalty, Slovenia go through to the final. And he's missed. He's hit the bar. Slovenia win the shootout. My first game ends in a draw with a penalty win. And there we go. Everyone is ecstatic. We go through to the playoff final, which is, whoa, very, very, very good. I mean, we couldn't beat 9 men, but let's not focus on that right now. And, oh, wow. So lots of people want to chat to me about things. Oh, that was good. I'm glad that's over, though. When's the European playoff final? When's the draw? When do I find out who I've got in the 4? We'll find out. I need to do this contract. We'll be back to find out who we've got in the final. Okay, so the draw is just an automatic thing. We didn't sit through it. And we have been drawn against Bosnia and Herzegovina in the final, which will be played on the 30th of March. But it's not going to be this episode. It will be in the next episode. And we look at a Bosnian team, and they have a couple of players that we recognise. Stanko Hamzabegovic is their leading striker from NK Maribor. And not only that, if we have a look at their senior squad, another name jumps out at us. Christian Hodzic. Yeah, I didn't realise. I thought he was German. He obviously didn't get a German cap and has now gone and played for Bosnia. So they're going to have us, one of our main strikers and an attacking midfielder sitting behind him, who are our 2 key players at NK Maribor, which is very, very interesting. They've also got our backup left back there as well. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting game. But we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And we'll be back for the game against Bosnia and Herzegovina because we've got a final to play, which is always very interesting. And I'll chat to you very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching. And I hope you've enjoyed this sort of new experience of watching a game of Slovenian international football. I'll chat to you very, very soon. I'm out. Cheers.